A young man sat down and wrote a letter that would end his engagement to the woman he described as the most beautiful thing in his life. He wasn't leaving her for someone else. He wasn't leaving because he had stopped loving her. He was leaving because he understood something most people spend their entire lives running from. That some choices cannot be shared, that some depths cannot be explained, and that a life built on what is available, even when what is available is extraordinary, is not the same as a life that is true. His name was Søren Kierkegaard, and the way he chose to suffer would quietly become one of the most important ideas in human history. Copenhagen, winter, a city that rewarded silence and punished strangeness. Søren's father had once stood on a frozen hillside as a young shepherd boy, cold, forgotten, and cursed God out loud. He spent the rest of his life certain that God had heard him. When 5 of his 7 children died before reaching adulthood, Michael didn't call it coincidence. He called it consequence, a punishment measured out in small coffins. Søren survived, but he watched his father carry that guilt the way some men carry an old injury. Quietly, always, with a slight change in how they moved through rooms. And something transferred, not the theology, the posture, the sense that beneath every ordinary moment, something enormous was waiting, that the ground you stood on was never entirely solid, that every choice carried a weight invisible to the casual eye. He would write later, "I was already old when I was born." He did not yet have a name for what his father had given him. He would find it later. He would call it anxiety, and he would spend his entire life arguing that the darkness passed down like a curse was, in fact, the only inheritance worth having. He saw her for the first time when she was 14. Her name was Regine Olsen, bright-eyed, warm, entirely herself in rooms where other people performed versions of themselves. He waited 3 years. Then one afternoon, he knocked on her door. What followed was 2 years of the most intense courtship Copenhagen had witnessed. Letters delivered before dawn, long walks along the harbor, conversations that outlasted the candles,